As you've most likely seen by now, I've started playing God of War 2018 again on Give Me the God of War difficulty. What you might not know, though, is that little over a year ago now, I started a New Game Plus playthrough of God of War Ragnarok on the second hardest difficulty, Give Me No Mercy. I did this because I wanted to replay the game and have my skills tested and see how well I'd endure on a higher difficulty than normal. As of recently, I finished the game for myself again and have been progressing through the post-story content. One of the main challenges to complete after the main story is defeating the Valkyrie Queen Gná. She is notorious for being a ruthless boss, though that hasn't stopped people from making absurd builds that can absolutely one-shot her. I struggled with the fight for about 3 days until I narrowed down a build for myself to use and try to finally win. Now for one, I never intended to do the fight flawlessly like other people have. On higher difficulties, and depending on the build, you can get 2-tapped by Gná even with max health. It just so happened that when I was reviewing my footage, I realized I only suffered 1 hit, and that I almost made a perfect run. I could have loaded up an old save slot, but I didn't bother because it had been 3 days of trying to beat her. For the fun of it, I'm going to show you the build I made to finish this fight. For Kratos' Leviathan axe, I used the Furious Maul Grip for that gift of strength. For the light runic attack, I chose Hell's Touch, and for the heavy attack, I chose Mists of Helheim. For the Blades of Chaos, I used the Pommels of the 9 Realms for the use of Realm Shifts. For the light runic attack, I went with the Rampage of the Furies, and for the heavy runic attack, I went with the Neiman Crush. For the Dropnir Spear, I used the Hind of 4 Winds Grip for a concussive wave on the end of combo finishers, and for the light runic attack, I went with the Thrust of 1,000 Soldiers. For the heavy attack, I used the Artillery of the Ancients. My shield of choice is the Dauntless Shield for its high-risk, high-reward parries, and my attachment of choice is the Rond of Disruption, which can create an elemental storm when parrying. For the Spartan Rage, I chose Valor because it has a particular bonus with an amulet I will show in a moment. The most useful relic I could think to use is the Hilt of Hofud to create a Realm Shift. This simply allows for free damage, which is always useful. For Freya, I gave her the Thrungva sword for the increased stun damage. For the Runic Summon, I chose for her the Seither Exhale, which will cloud an enemy in poison for a duration. For my chest armor, I chose the Berserker Cuirass to increase the damage of my melee attacks after using a relic. For my wrist and waist armor, I chose Vidar's Bracers of Might for that increased damage after a combo finisher. My amulets of choice are as follows now. The Asgard set is to increase the damage of all Kratos' weapon triangle attacks. The Vanaheim set is to increase the damage of status-afflicted enemies. Kinetic Resilience to gain extra charge for Kratos' triangle attacks. Emblem of the 9 Realms to increase the damage during realm shifts. And lastly, Boon of Valor. This amulet will decrease how much health I recover when using Spartan Rage Valor, but instead will provide a powerful buff of strength for a duration. Lastly, for Freya, her accessories, I used the Sonic Aftershock, Rune Engraved Release, and Sonic Attachment. The main goal of this build is to do as much damage as I can during a realm shift and continue to deal bonus damage through status effects with Freya. And now with my build laid out and nothing more to be said, here is my almost flawless run on Queen Gná.
Good! I'll pay for what you've done!
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost!
It's sigil magic!
This is far from over! Asgard's
Get out of there!
You would judge me. You, whose cowardice has left entire realms in ruin.
Sister, I know the hate that burns you from within. I have felt those flames, known the comfort of their warmth. I wronged you. And I cannot change that. Never apologize enough for it. But the hatred, vengeance, you have to let it go.
Finish it.
Yes, sister.
That was dramatic.